Hiya, I'm James. Today I'm going to be cooking baked leeks with a herby white bean stew. First job, before I get everything else out, we've got some lovely chunky leeks here. Just give them a wash in an oven-proof tray of any description. Preheat your oven to max, 200 degrees, 230 degrees, however high it goes. A little bit of salt, and then we're going to bang them in. We just want them blackened all the way on the outside, really, really dark golden colour. So that's just the roasted leeks. So we'll pop them in first. And then next up, we're going to make our super simple flatbreads. So we've got equal quantities of self-raising flour and extra thick Greek yogurt. You might not need all the Greek yogurt, so we just add it a little bit at a time. Some salt and some pepper, and literally spoon in until you get the right consistency. Nice tight ball, and we'll just leave that on the side to rest. So once we've got that nice dough formed like that, we just cling film it over and leave it to rest for 20 minutes until we need it. Right, so our leeks are roasting away nicely. It's getting a bit smoky in here actually, so be prepared for that. A nice heavy base pan, get up to a medium heat, so around sort of 3 or 4. And then a good glove of oil, either rapeseed oil, olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, something like that, something that's got some nice deep flavour. Then we've just got an onion here. Slice it up, nice and finely. And then, same with the garlic. Doesn't need to be too perfect, it's all going to cook down nicely, soften up. Lovely. And then straighten our pan. Same as always, salt in now. Suck out some of the moisture out of these onions and garlic. Don't let it get too hot, just gently tick over for around 4 or 5 minutes, just until they start to melt down, go translucent. So after about 5 minutes of the onions sweating down, we just take a carrot, these have already been peeled, and just roughly dice them up. And add those to the pan. Same with these tomatoes, cut them acrossways, about 4, and then again the other way, and then we'll just go down into rough, sort of rough cubes, rough shapes. They're just going to melt down with the onions to make a lovely sauce. Some hard herbs here, thyme, rosemary work well, oregano. So we'll pop that in. We'll keep the heat on sort of medium. We're going to leave it to tick over. Just gently sweat down these carrots and tomatoes, and after about 5 minutes we're just going to add our water. So our stew, or the beginning of our stew, has had about 7 or 8 minutes just to tick over now. So it's created a lovely sauce with that oil and the tomatoes. And then we've just got some lemon we're going to add to it as well, and our beans. And the beans have a starch, so they'll thicken this up. It's not going to be really thick, but just the natural starch in the beans will slightly thicken it. So in with these, we turn the heat right down now. Lots of lemon zest, just to lighten it up and give it some zing. juice as well. So we'll leave this to tick over for another 5 minutes or so, just so the beans soften a little bit more. Our leeks are lovely and golden now, so we'll just leave these to cool down, just so we can handle them a little bit better while that finishes off. And in the meantime, I'll clean up and we will roll our flatbreads out and get them cooked. So I've got a pan on getting hot for our flatbreads, and this is just sitting on our back now on a low heat, just still ticking over. So all we do, lightly floured side, flour the rolling pin, and we're just going to roll them out. They don't need to be very even shapes, just nice and rustic, to about 2mm thickness, and then we'll just pop them through in a pan. The pan's just got a splash, a quarter of a tablespoon of oil, just to help them start off, and the thinner you roll them, the more they'll bubble up and blister on the top. So we'll just place that straight in and roll the rest out while that one cooks. That's true. So this is the last flatbread going in now. As you can see, it's lovely and bubbly on one side. Just looking for that golden brown colour on the other side. They only take 20 to 30 seconds either side. And while we're waiting for that to finish, our leeks have cooled down enough to handle now. All we're looking to do is just take this outside layer off, the tough external leaves, and just expose the really tender leek underneath. That is done now, that stew. So we just add our soft herbs now, so just a little bit of parsley. Take our last flatbread off. Fold our parsley through, lovely bit of colour as well, that's flavour. At this stage, if you just check your seasoning, salt, pepper, does it need any more lemon? And then slice up some nice chunks of leek. Just randomly place them around, like so, and then it's a really lovely way to finish this dish is just with some cheese. This is some St Jude cheese, which is a local dairy in Bungay in Suffolk. Just a few nice dollops of this. So we'll just finish it with a drizzle of olive oil or rapeseed oil. And that is your baked leeks with white bean stew.